onto your backlines, because right now Team Secret, their composition screams having one massive carry on the backline that just gets untouched and you can't get onto them, like a Ringo.
So what do you pick then to get on the backline?
I don't know. That's the tough part here.
Well, don't. No. You can't say the Koshka is bad if you don't have something else to pick out here.
Well, we've got a
Taka.
Vox now, so something needs to go with
Taka.
it. I was going to
Taka?
say, Bacon did say Taka earlier.
Yeah.
So he's got something up his sleeve.
Well, we'll see with the Vox coming out. Vox can be pretty well with the into a Lance and get a lot of resonance bounces off that if you go the Crystal route.
Yeah, it definitely can. You can stack up on these tanky heroes, switch over to a key target. Even if you stack up, you can start to burn through them.
I want to see the Crystal Vox just so I finally get to use the term bouncy castle for the gauntlet with all the bounces inside of it.
We played a game a couple weeks ago, and we locked that in, and I feel like you've locked in an Arden or a Vox. I think you locked in the CP Vox just so that we could run the bouncy castle.
I remember that game now. Yeah, it was pretty good. All right, so it's a Samuel. They're not going to go onto the back line. They're just going to say, hey, we're going to kite back, I guess.
I mean, that definitely seems to be their plan. It can be really tough to pull off against the Lance Glaive because they have so much engage potential.
Yeah.
It's really just if they can survive that initial burst that's going to come out from that dive, then they can perhaps relocate the fight and back off from it. But as of right now, depending on what they pick, obviously, but right now it's just the two, I'm favoring Team Secret's draft already.
And Secret, I mean, they have a chance to lock in something which really firmly counters what Fnatic picked. So if you had to choose something to do that, what would it be?
Ooh, it's a tough choice. I feel like I do still really like Ringo in this situation. You have that little bit of slow coming out the Achilles shot and just being able to play safe yourself. Like, there's nothing on the side of Fnatic that can get onto Ringo's face.
Yeah, it's really going to be down to like a good Gauntlet or an Oblivion actually landing on the Ringo, I suppose. So Team Secret, their composition looks very strong.
It's going to be his first VG8 introduction to everyone, and we've already built them up to be quite the laner from the analyst desk.
Yeah, we really have, and I want to see what he can do. He's obviously on the Ringo, quite a staple pick right now in the current meta. And Techno is also on the Vox. Ironically, you could say like Techno, and he's like a music guy, isn't he? So we're getting there. He's close to.
I'll give you a 5 out of 7 for that one.
Let that one sink in for a little bit.
Now, what the analysts were talking about a little bit earlier on is just like, so now that you've seen the comms, now you know that Tricky's going to be on this Ringo. I mean, we got a pretty decent front line here. Leon in that jungle, Justman back to his role on the captain. With that Lance and that Glaive, we're going to be doing a lot of queuing. If Tricky can stay in the clear, a lot of damage is going to be coming out of him. Very likely going to be that weapon as well. If we go into that crystal, I think we kind of throw a little bit more of the power away for free. At the same time, the analysts were talking about something like a double crystal, Palmataro and Tetno, but I don't think we're going to see the bouncy castle this round. I just don't think it's in the card.
Yeah, I mean, making sure you're, mixing it up a little bit. So they got one weapon power, one crystal power, always very helpful. However, Leon and Tricky, they're both going down the weapon power build right now, at least.
Yeah,
so
for now.
Leon obviously on the Glaive. Yeah, for now. We'll see what happens. I mean, is it likely that Leon's going to go for a Storm Crown first item?
Well, if he's put that much cash into his blades, if it is going to be a crown, it's definitely not going to be coming out before the 5-minute mark. And that many blades, I mean, yes, you can build them into, your tier 2s, your tier 3s, but you kind of delay a little bit about that first pickup. He's going for the raw power for the speed. In case there is a fight, he wants to be able to pack a little bit more of a punch. If this will be double weapon and not a utility glaive, the Ringo becomes a little bit more vulnerable because the cooldown reduction isn't there from Leon, but Leon himself becomes a bit more of a threat if he can get into the backline unfettered. So it's a toss-up, at least in my eyes here. In Secret, this could go either way for Secret.
It really, really could. And Justman obviously on the Lance as well, providing a lot of that ample protection that Tricky needs. But Tricky is going to be fairly well off, I think, because a lot of engage, both from Justman and obviously Leon alike. So going to be fairly easy for him to dish out the damage in the back line. However, Palmatore obviously on the Samuel. We've seen what Samuels can do, and they can just really wreak havoc no matter where you're standing realistically. And then Netwellette obviously on the Arden as well. Not going to be hitting 6 anytime soon. Jungle has intensified though. But we are on to that stage of the game. 4 minutes in, no kills just yet. Very slow game coming out from these two teams.
We're continuing to build weapon here for Leon, so the blades weren't just for show. He is going to be a double weapon comp from Team Secret, and I feel like once Fnatic catches onto this one, after the first big item, maybe after the first 2 items, somewhere before the 10-12 minute mark, we're going to be looking to prioritize a lot of armor. Net Toilette very likely is now going to shift from a priority on a Crucible to now an Atlas Pauldron, since he is really the only melee here on Fnatic. Like, Techno's going to be trying to stay away. Palmataro, same idea. There should be picking up at least the tier 2 armors by the time we get to that stage of the game. But Net Toilette, I would heavily expect now to be prioritizing an Atlas.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, we'll see what he does end up going towards, obviously, just with that fountain in his back pocket. Yeah, but definitely armor needs to be stacked. However, Palmatoro in a little bit of trouble. Oh my goodness, that was a lot of damage. He's going to get followed up by Tricky. However, not going down. Yeah, that was so close. One more auto, but Tricky as well. Taking a bit of aggro from the tower. Team Secret and Fnatic already butting heads. 5 minutes into the game, that's been our first fight. No one going down. Palmatoro just escaping. Fountain just in time.
Yeah, the fountains on both sides actually keeping everyone still going at this point. Tricky gets denied that first blood and nearly dies himself. If you give even an inch here to Techno JJ, he's just going to be able to sonic step right over to Tricky and just say, hey, what's up? Here's some tunes and resonate. And that's not where Tricky wants to be. You saw him immediately pop the boots after that. So maybe the difference here between something like the more utility glaives rather than the damage glaives was simply because he was trying to make up for that captain. Now, Justman on the captain role this time with that lance, that is a lot of appeal by itself, which might be prompting Secret here to saying, okay, well, we need just some bigger burst potential. Because an afterburn into the impales, right, that's all you have. That's your entire crowd control chain. Everything else has to be pure damage.
Well, they got Githian wall if they're next to structures, I guess, or walls, in fact. But
that
yeah,
is a good
after
point.
that,
yeah,
it's not really much else there. They just got a lot of damage to kind of follow that up in Tricky, or at least hope he can follow that damage up. And Fnatic, they've got the Gauntlet. Obviously, Sammy obviously does have the Oblivion as well. We'll see if they are able to make that in use, because the Gauntlet into the Oblivion is just so horrible as well. If you can't reflex block out of it, 'cause there's not much room for you to actually move. So could be quite devastating combo if they manage to get it off.
It kind of comes down to just the same old commentary of, if these combos do work, we can see some pretty devastating results. It's just more often than not, it's way harder to make these combos work than might meet the eye. Palmataro picks up first item. That feels a little late, to be honest, here at the 7-minute mark, but he does get himself that Frostburn. A little bit more utility now to go with that Samuel. At the same time, Net Toilette, but he picked him that tier 1 armor. We got the armor there on Techno, who has himself that breaking point, and he is going to be going at least for one of these monocles. I'd like to see him go into the armor after that monocle, which again, like 10-12 minute mark or so, since there is no hyper carry status here.
Well, it's definitely not going to be a 11-minute 3-item carry.
No, not happening.
That was Hundor last game. Yeah, definitely not happening. The Fnatic are not giving that many resources. Same with Team Secret. They do need them kind of shared out more this time. Rather going for the group damage rather than just the single target. Techno takes a little bit of damage there from the Hellfire Brew. No worries, though. Just kind of dusts that off. Not a problem. However, Leon's going to go in. Palmatoro just punched into the wall. Justman is going to be able to follow that up with a Githian wall, and that was it. Dunzo.
I feel like Tricky, he threw down the Hellfire Brew. So it's like, well, you can either reflex block this, not that anybody has one, or you can take the damage. They took the damage, and that kind of put, I feel, Fnatic felt that there's just not going to be an engage to follow up since it didn't really do the damage it needed to. But Leon kind of just ducked out of sight very quickly, and that's the big combo right there. So Palmataro afterburn into Justman getting, the Githian wall in this case instead of the Impale. But that plus Tricky. That's why Tricky is now into that 2 item. He's not going to be going for, these monocles. It's a good old Sorrow Blade. And, do that a few more times before these reflex kicks in, and you're going to build a pretty decent lead here.
Yeah, they will too. And with that, obviously, the pushing power is in Team Secret's favor. So already putting that to good use. With that, Tenno JJ, what are you doing, son? Stepping so far up, straight into 3 of them. Team Secret is going to be able to take him far, far away from the fold. My goodness, that was aggressive knowing Leon was there. Well, all right, he dies.
2 for 2, yeah.
2 for 2. The Toilette is going to go on Tricky after burn onto Palmatoro. Palmatoro has got the boots. He's going to slide away, not a problem. Oblivion comes out. Isn't going to be able to pop anybody up, but that gauntlet did, however. Almost lost my voice there. Team Secret They are going to be able to trade one kill back on the side of Fnatic. Just Man's in a little bit of trouble. Palmatorma trying to trade that kill up. It's not going to happen. However, that turret does go down. 9 minutes into the game already. Team Secret putting the pedal to the metal. 3K gold lead ahead as well.
I mean, I don't think Fnatic knows. Okay, no, they absolutely know. If they had ducked down to the jungle, then I think they'd really missed an opportunity to take down a turret, and this actually makes that fight on par. It was a kill for a kill and a turret for a turret, so we're not actually that bad here. Fnatic is still a little bit behind the 8 ball by about 2,000 gold or so, but it's not starting to snowball. Team Secret are really just kind of fighting on almost even grounds here. And Fnatic, that's a big feather in their hat, because if they can stop any kind of snowballing from happening, their late game, especially if Palmatorma hit that 3-item spike, if Tetno gets to 3 items, by 15-minute mark, all of a sudden their offensive power just goes way up.
Another feather in their hat. I'm not sure what kind of hat you're wearing, man. Are you in a Renaissance fair or something?
I mean,
Ain't no wearing no hats.
Who doesn't like going to go see the old medieval times to remind us of our past?
Very, very old past. I mean, to be fair, I used to go to them as a kid. They are really cool. Like the knights fighting, just the demonstrations and stuff was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
like that and the food.
It's the age of esports now, though. I like to watch my knights fight digitally.
Yeah, yeah, digital knights, like For Honor or Chivalry or something.
Well, I was thinking more like Team Secret and Fnatic, but I mean,
but they're not technically. I mean, well, you could actually say Just Man's a knight, because he is in the Gladiator Lance skin, so we got that going for us.
It's a fantastic skin. Picking up that gold mine, I wouldn't really expect Team Secret to look for a fight. They don't really know where Fnatic or the Net Toilette are. A lot of the vision's been stripped away from this jungle area, but Just Man, no fear, just moving forward, looking to clear out any kind of traps. He's going to be the one to face check, and that's exactly what you need him to be doing. So the movements here from Secret is just kind of sealing in Fnatic a little bit more, keeping them in a smaller area. They know where they are pretty much at this point, and now they're going to be looking for a fight because they just picked up infusions.
Oh boy, the 11-minute infusions. Let's go. Leon's looking for something here. A lot of chip damage from Palmatorma, though. There's a lot of vision as well. Palmatorma gets jumped straight into the Impale, straight into the wall. Gauntlet goes down. Fnatic are in ruin. They're going to have to run away from this one. And my goodness, Leon finds his mark every single time. Net Toilette gets knocked aback as well. Tetno trying to take up a little bit of that damage, but it's not going to help. My goodness, Leon, he's on point. Infusion in hand as well, like you said. And bam, another kill.
Yeah, I think that the rotations there from Secret was almost immaculate. Like, they rolled up the lane, they pushed it up, they had more or less the idea where Fnatic was. They pushed him out of the jungle, went down, bought those infusions, and before Fnatic could get any intel on that, they popped him and found that fight. And that is just that stellar gameplay that you need if you want to be at the top rank of your regions. And Secret, they're looking to redeem themselves from that unfortunate loss to Cyclone in Game 3 of Finals last week.
Yeah, and they did come up second place, remember, and Fnatic haven't actually got a win on the board either. So, I believe Fnatic did lose against SK2-0 last week. Whoa, Leon, hang on a minute. I wasn't ready. I wasn't finished in my sentence, man. Come on, that's just rude.
Well, he was looking for the pick. Unfortunately, didn't quite close the distance that he needed to. I think he only would have gotten net anyways, and probably not going to get that kill. I mean, he does have that armor ready to go. You see the tier 2 armor there on top of Palmatorma. No armor as such for Tetno. He's still only on that tier 1 as the decent gold payout does go down. So Tetno is definitely something more of a target, at least in my eyes, simply because he is not tank. Okay, now he has the tier 2. Might as well just not have mentioned it, Jaws, but I really got to just keep pressing again that up against this double weapon, that armor is going to be a very key survivable point. That's a word, right?
That's, yeah, so, yeah, we'll take it. We know what you meant. It's all good. Survivable point. But, yeah. Well, you could say it's Value Town. Team sure. Fnatic.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Team Secret, but yeah. Hellfire Brute, but donk. Not really doing too much, but a little bit of poke damage is a little bit of poke damage underneath their turret. Tricky taking a couple of turret hits there. You're going to have to back off, buddy. Leon does not... Well, he does have Afterburn available. Can go in at any one point. This is what they're going to have to be scared of. That turret going down. Here we go. The Gauntlet does come out. Nice two-man stun. Although Tricky might just walk into the Oblivion. No, he does get it off. And my goodness, he's popping off. Tricky, you're so fine. You're so fine. You're blowing our minds with that damage. Palmatorma is going down very quickly. And so is Tricky, however. I take that all back. Fnatic pushing forward, 2 kills in their belts, and here we go. This might be the look back. They come back even they were looking for. My goodness, those sentences didn't make sense. Leon, he's going to go down as well, almost. There we go. One more hit will do it. Afterburn's away at no HP. He's going to survive somehow, and Fnatic pulling it back. 3 kills on the board for them now. And with those minions, they are shoving into that turret. They're going to look for something else here.
I'm not gonna lie, Jaws. I actually thought that was gonna be an ace right there. I had 100% confidence that Fnatic was able to pick that one up, but Leon, just by the skin of his teeth, does deny. They lose out their sentry, they lose out their jungle. We did actually just refresh our infusion here on top of Tricky, so he's not willing to let go of that buff, but we do get the same here from Tetno, who is full 3-item build, 15 minutes in with the tier 2 armor and a reflex. He is actually in a pretty good spot. Now, Fnatic haven't overturned the momentum at all. They did get a good fight, and it's keeping them here into it. It's still only about, what, 2,500 gold? Anybody's game, realistically here, Jaws. But Secret, if they get greedy on top of a turret like that again, they might start losing out that snowball that they've really worked hard to accumulate here.
Yeah, Fnatic did a fantastic job of kind of re-engaging and doing also wonders. Hellfire Brew is going to come out again. It's going to land
Easy.
on Palmadoro. Not a problem. It's going to be soaked up, at least a lot of it. You know what? I've been waiting to make that 90s song reference for ages as soon as I saw Tricky was playing today, and it didn't really work out, so...
Yeah. I think it worked out.
It was all right. He didn't actually do a lot of damage. He ended up dying, but it's whatever. It's all
Capture
good.
curse right there, my friend.
It really is, yeah. As soon as I start, I'm like, well, he's gonna die now.
All right,
well,
Leon.
speaking of things dying, Kraken is gonna get started up. Team Secret,
Yeah.
they want this objective.
This is so risky, though. Like, they have the flare out there, but all Fnatic right there, and there's not really a ton of bursts that can go down on top of the Kraken. So a long, steady game would just tear away at you a little bit. Leon picks up his third offensive item. He's kind of been a little bit under my commentary radar, but with that Serpent's Mask into the Tornado Trigger and the Monocle, like, you can kind of see the crits are all building here, right? All Team Secret want to do is pick out either Tetno or Palmataro, lock him down, blow him up, and then just proceed to win the 2v3, either through objectives or kills or whatever means necessary. But so much crit has been amassed, and this is why those tier 3 armors are so important, and Tetno has his ready to go.
He does indeed, and he's also hit that breaking point as well with the breaking point and double monocle. Wow, that was a big Hellfire Brew.
They are not reflexing these on
That's hit
purpose.
too.
Just
They
wanted
aren't.
to say that.
They are, well,
None
they're
of
too
them-
scared of Leon and Justman, I guess.
Exactly,
I mean,
exactly Wolverine. Good job,
that's the
Joss.
thought. Good, yeah, good job, Jaws. Yeah, I got it. I knew what I was talking about.
This is still risky in my eyes.
It is risky. Whoa, afterburn straight onto Palmatoro. There we go, Justman's coming in, the gauntlet comes down, Oblivion doesn't hit, and now Fnatic have got free reign over this fight. Leon, he's going to get taken out very, very quickly by Palmatoro. This is turning completely in Fnatic's favor, and they pick up another kill, triple kill almost, as Palmatoro picks up the double, and they're going to pick up the Kraken and the ace buff. What more can they want? Oh, wait, there's turrets on the board still here, Forecourt.
Yeah, and those turrets are not going to be lasting too much longer. We got some ace buff. Well, no, that last wave back there, not ace buff, so really they only got these 2 frontliners, but it's going to be enough.
Man.
It's absolutely going to be enough. I mean, this is for sure the death all the way through choke.
Here we go. They're going to do it. Kraken's taking her sweet time.
Tetno wants an infusion. That's why he's leaving lane.
He does. There we go. He got it. We're back.
Yeah.
No problem.
So yeah,
There's no
Kraken-
problem either.
Kraken's not even going to take damage from this until the turret explodes. Leon, as that frontliner, like, there's nothing really to knock him back, so it's okay for now. But Fnatic have just really been turning this, and now, full power here. They can just push right through.
They really can. The Kraken's taking a lot of damage, though. Something to keep in mind. That turret is falling really quickly, though. Tricky sends out the Hellfire Brew. The Impale only hits 1. However, Leon's going to bash them into the wall. Turret is going to get destroyed. Kraken on the back line here will mean Team Secret are going to have to run back. Oblivion meaning they have to push forward. Now, Gauntlet comes down as well. 1 kill picked up from Team Secret. Can they make it a 2? A 2 for 2 on at the moment. Palmatoro going really low here. Gideon will. The CC is too much. Team Secret will be able to take Palmatoro out, which means Nettoilette is the only member alive. Kraken still bashing on the doors of Team Secret. Might just be able to get this one more swing or do it. He finally takes out the turrets. That's only 1 turret remaining between them and the Vein Crystal. Fnatic, would you say that's worth for them right now?
Oh, 100% worth. 3 turrets in exchange for an ace minus the 2 kills that just happened right now. I mean, you come out in spades pretty much all the way around. The only thing that we still have going for Team Secret, as this late game is really starting to kind of be a little bit more flip-floppy on who it favors, is that they have the gold lead. Like, they just got a 1,500 gold infusion with that Kraken, so you can see the infusion coming out. Tricky just refreshed his. We picked up here from Leon. Justman doesn't quite have the damage, or sorry, the gold for his next one, but he's still rocking that level 11 there. So we're not, it's still anybody's game, believe it or not, but one more slip up from Team Secret, they're down to 1 turret. So that Kraken, 100% worth. 2 deaths to make the Kraken for a 3rd turret, 100% worth.
Well, Team Secret aren't really looking on top form they were like last week. Fnatic kind of pushing back now, got a little bit of resistance on their hands. Will mean Team Secret, they're going to look for the win here. They got to find a fight that's good for them. They had so many good skirmishes in the early game. Surprising that now they're just not pulling it through. Tricky hasn't just been the driving force behind this all CC composition, it seems, or at least heavy CC composition from Team Secret. Just not being able to do much. He's sitting at 1, 3, and 4 right now. Just more of a backup damage source because Leon and Justman have just really been the driving force.
Well, that's because they're also, well, they were way more tanky, and now it's a little bit more even as Tricky finally gets a little bit of armor under his belt. But the early game with a double weapon, you would expect that to kind of go for the double weapon. It's just way easier to apply the damage and live through it, get that burst. But everybody's armored up. We have 2 to 3 items on pretty much both. Palmataro Tetno's already been sitting on his. I mean, he's basically just waiting for an Aegis, and well, that's it. That's him done for this match at the 20-minute mark. Palmataro, once he gets into a broken myth, I mean, he becomes that fully functional Death Star that he's been wanting to be here as well.
Death Star. I like that. That should be a skin, like something along those lines. I think it would work pretty well.
I think this guy can blow up planets. Like, he's just absolutely ridiculous with 3 out and Spike coming through.
Whoa, I didn't even see that. Wow, I'm completely blind. I think we're both blind. She didn't mention it either. Gauntlet comes down, however. Leon's going to have to burn. Toilet away, however, the Kraken is on the board and got to think about that. Fnatic, as they get pinned into the wall. Hellfire Brew comes out as well. Oblivion is going to get dodged. However, Techno JJ is going to be able to pick up this kill. Justman's going to go down as well if they can chase him up. He is indeed. Double kill coming through for Techno JJ. Tricky, the last one alive. Will he be able to do anything at all here? Alma Toro's in the front line. Not a problem. Triple kill for Techno. They're going to ignore the Kraken here for court. I think they're just going to end the game. Fnatic with game number 1. They're going to take it over Team Secret. Wow, what a showing compared to last week.
This is a big weakness of the double weapon. If you can't snowball ahead, if you can't keep that consistent lead, and your opponents get into that armor situation, it is really hard to bust through that. There's a big point in time, at least on the NA side, where it was almost like we had 4 to 5 sets of weapon power